Hey guys, I want to do a quick video to update on all four of the major items from the stimulus bill, the CARES Act they signed in, I don't even know what it was now, 2-3 weeks ago. That's going to start getting money into the hands of those who need it, those who have lost their jobs, those whose businesses are shut down or being impacted. There's been a lot of updates since the last time we talked. So I'm just going to go over four of them. The economic stimulus money that's going out to basically everybody who qualifies based on income. That's coming directly from the IRS. Those started going out late last week, and most people should receive theirs by today. That's the page I'm on right now. There's a few things that you may need to do with this one. First, go into your bank account, the one that you use for your refund, to get your refund deposited for the last couple years. Check your bank account. It should have hit by today. If it has not hit, you need to go to the IRS portal that they created to check on this. And here's one thing I have found out today by doing this. If you owed money in 2019 or 2018, if you have not filed 2019 yet, you will likely have to come here and put in your bank account information. For whatever reason, it does not seem like they're going to use the account that you paid your taxes owed from to put it in. So you have to manually come in and do it. So right now I am simply on irs.gov. Go to irs.gov. Go down here to about the middle of the page where it says economic impact payments. Okay, click on that. And then it says filers get your payment. If you filed a tax return in either 2018 or 2019, this is the one you're going to want to pick. Non-filers, right? If you do not have to file a tax return, if you didn't file one in 18 or 19, so if you're if you know elderly people that are just on Social Security, they don't have to file a tax return. They can go here and click this non-filers, enter payment info here. That's where they would go. But for those of you who do file a tax return, if you have not received the payment yet, this is where you can go to check on it. Say get payment. All right, it's going to go here. Check on the impact, blah, blah, blah. Click again, get my payment. Okay, so you're probably going to have to wait a while there. I actually paused it while it took about 5 minutes to load that page. So don't give up on it. Let it sit there for a little while. Eventually, you're going to get to this page. This U.S. government system is for authorized use only, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Click OK. All right, now it's going to take you here. And you are going to put in all of your information. And I'm just going to use... I'll use my own. So I put in my Social Security number. Then I put in my date of birth. So if you're married and you're wondering which one to put in, which of your Social Security number and birthdays to put in, you want to put the person that's listed first on the tax return. All right. You put the first part of your address, or your actual address itself, not the state not the city and state, and then you put the zip code. So I already did this earlier today. I already filled out all the information I needed to fill out for it. So hopefully as I go in here, it's going to tell me. Okay, so I can see here, payment status. I'm eligible for the payment. Once we have your payment date, we will update this page. We'll deposit your payment to the bank account below. Your bank account number is 1414. It tells me I can verify that it's going into the right account. What I had to do earlier was I had to come in here and confirm information. Because since I owed money on my 2019 tax return, the last tax return I filed, I had to come in here and confirm my bank account information. And to do that, I needed my adjusted gross income, my AGI, all right? And you can find that on line 8B of your 2019 tax return, 8B on that 1040, right? You put that number in there. Then it's going to ask you for the total tax. It's going to ask you whether you got a refund or owed, all right? If you owed, obviously you click owed. And then they're going to ask you how much you owed. Okay, so you just put the exact dollar figure, the amount you owed. So you're going to need your 2019 or 2018 tax return to confirm that information. But once you confirm it, then they'll let you put in the bank account that you want it to go to. And then when you check back again, this is going to be the page you see. I wish I would have started this before I did that so you could see what that looked like. But that's basically what you're going to need. Your adjusted gross income, which you get right from your tax return. If you're using a 2019 tax return, it's on line 8B. and then you're going to need your amount due if you owed. I haven't seen them do this yet for a refund, people that got a refund, but if you got a paper check mailed, then you probably will. In that case, you'll just select refund instead of that you owed, and then you'll put the amount that you got as a refund. All right, so irs.gov, go to that line I showed you. It's going to give your information here. If you know any older people who don't file a tax return, they just get Social Security, whatever the reason, make sure they go and click that other option, and then they can make sure that their amount is direct deposited as well. Maybe I'll do another. I'll ask my grandparents if they're okay with me doing a video of theirs, and I can show you how that works for them. So next item, I don't have anything to show for, but unemployment. Tons and tons and tons and tons of people still not able to get through for unemployment. You're going to have to get them on the phone. There's only so much you can do online. And I know that people are still saying that they're not able to get through. Supposedly Ohio hired 1,000 new customer service reps. They're probably still being trained, but hopefully that'll help ease the burden here soon. Other states, I don't know. I know every state is overwhelmed. There's never in history been this many people at once applying for unemployment. These were already super outdated computer systems that they were using for this. So it's just been a mess. You're going to have to be relentless on this. That's all I can tell you. You're going to have to call over and over again. For Ohio people, I'm going to post something. I had one of my tenants, she worked at a restaurant. She was able to get through using the Spanish line. So she sent me exactly what buttons you press at what time, just in case you don't understand Spanish. But I've had several people able to get through using that. When someone does finally answer, it'll be someone that's bilingual, so they'll speak English as well, so that will not be a big deal. But I've had several people use that and get through. If you are on unemployment and you're one of the lucky ones that have gotten it already, as of last I heard, they have not started doing the additional $600 per week from the federal government. But if someone has gotten that, feel free to comment and let us know. That should be coming very soon if it hasn't already. I would guess this week or next. And they are going to backdate that to the date that you were eligible for it. So you could be getting a big check all at once. And that goes for all of unemployment. If you're someone that you lost your job 3 weeks ago and you still haven't gotten approved, when you finally do get approved, they're going to backdate it to when you lost your job. So you could be getting a very big check or direct deposit for that first amount you're owed. So that's unemployment. Still a mess, unfortunately. You just got to be relentless and keep calling. For the two business items, the first, a Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, that's the one that Andrew and I did a video on. It's giving business owners who have been impacted by COVID-19 they call it a loan up front, but on the back end, if you use it for eligible expenses, it's completely forgiven. You never have to pay it back. The good news on that is we now know several people that have gotten their application approved and actually been funded for that. Okay, so it is going out. The bad news is I know even more people who have applied and either not been accepted or have been accepted and not received their funds yet. So there's still a huge backlog there. The rumor is they're going to run out of money in the program by the end of this week. But the other rumor is that they're going to be doing a second round of funding for it. I personally don't know how it could possibly not do a second round of funding. Businesses need this. Since we did that video talking about the program, several things have changed. They now have said contractors are not eligible for it, but part of that seems to be what bank you work with. Some banks are still allowing it, but the Treasury and the SBA have both said that they're not eligible. Sole proprietors. So originally this seemed like just for actual corporations, people that are taxed as an S corp or they're a C corp or some type of corporation that had employees. Those were the only ones eligible for this. Since then, we have learned that it's also for what they call sole proprietors or independent contractors. So if you're a business, you have no employees other than maybe yourself. A sole proprietor is basically considered you're the only owner of the business. Some people say, well, I'm an LLC, so I'm not a sole proprietor. If you are an LLC, but you are the only owner, you're still considered a sole proprietor. You can apply for this program. And what they're saying is it's going to be based on your profits. They're going to look at your 2019 tax return, see what your profits were, average it out per month, and then give you 2.5 times that. So that could be a really big deal for a lot of businesses. You need to talk to a bank, the local bank. If you have a relationship with them, that's still the best bet. A lot of banks are saying we can't work with people that we don't already have. They're not already a customer because we only have limited funds to give out. So talk to bank after bank after bank. There's a few online banks. Kabbage, I know. It's Kabbage. They're taking online applications. Bank of America, I've heard, is still doing a lot of funding for this. So just, again, you got to be relentless. You got to keep working. You got to find a bank that's going to be willing to do this for you. They should be able to tell you everything you need to get started. And once you do get approved, it seems to be very quick that you do get the funding itself. And again, that's 100% forgivable. They've never done a program like this. I know of people that have gotten $500,000. You're eligible to get up to $10 million, depending on how big your payroll is, how big your profits are. So this is a very big deal. Finally, the fourth one, the second small business program, EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. They had initially said that this was a $10,000 grant for anyone that applied. And then you could get an additional loan up to $2 million on top of it under very favorable terms. All right, so I did a video showing you how to apply. Everyone rushed out. I know tons and tons, millions of businesses rushed out to get this $10,000. Unfortunately, they then said, oh, well, actually, the way we meant it was that it's $1,000 per employee if you have employees, or just a flat $1,000 if you're a sole proprietor. So a huge difference between that and $10,000, especially for sole proprietors. As of this morning, I had not heard of a single person that had even gotten that $1,000 from it. I did in a real estate group I'm in on Facebook. I had one person today claim that they got their $1,000 as a sole proprietor. I don't know them personally, so I don't know whether that's true or not. I do not personally know a single person who has gotten any money from that program, loan or grant, and I know lots and lots who have applied. So I'm definitely feeling discouraged on the EIDL program. I don't know what to tell people on that one, other than if you haven't already applied, you might as well apply and see what happens. It's a quick application. Hopefully, eventually they get that sorted out, and at the very least, give people the loan portion of it so they have some cash to try and get by. I'm a little more optimistic on the PPP now that we know that we have had people that have actually gotten funded for it, and several more who have gotten approved applications that are waiting for funding. So those are the four things. As with all these, you got to take control of yourself. You got to be relentless. You can ask for help. You should ask for help. But the bottom line is going to be the people that survive this financially are going to be the people that take control and find a way to get what they're entitled to. Unfortunately, that's what it's going to come down to. The people that take control of the situation, and look, some are going to try and take control. I don't mean to say that if you don't get it, it's your fault entirely. There's going to be people who do everything right and they still get the short stick and don't get some of this stuff. But you're not going to get it unless you take control and go after it. And if you talk to one or two banks and they say, no, you can't get the PPP program, you cannot stop there. You got to talk to the third and the fourth and the fifth. We have clients that have literally applied to 6 different banks just to make sure that someone gets them through. So I'll just keep coming back to this word. You got to be relentless. These are times that none of us, not a single person alive, have faced a time like this. And everyone's kind of guessing at what needs to be done. And the best way to guess right is to take a whole lot of guesses, right? Try for the PPP program, try for the EIDL program. Make sure your stimulus money is going to the right bank account. You could be waiting weeks if you don't check this site thinking, why isn't my payment coming? Only to finally log on and see, oh, I needed to go in and confirm my bank account. So if you have not received this as of today, which is Wednesday, April 15th, you need to get on the IRS website and check that and see if you need to update something. So that's it. That's the updates I got. As more things happen, I'll update again. Keep working. I know things are tough. Probably looking at a little while longer of it being tough, but hopefully I know eventually we'll get through this. All right. Good luck.